Hey guys, welcome to the next video on Onshape. And this series we're going to look at making the classic pencil box. Right. It's a bit more advanced than the ones we did before, but it's still fairly simple. You're going to learn two key new functions in this. The first one is how to create an offset plane. As you can see, that plane's not in the origin. And the next one is how to mirror a part. So we've made this once and we mirrored it along the origin. Right, that's the main difference, and they're the two key things you're going to learn in this tutorial. Also, you're going to learn how to add new parts, because before we've just been adding features to existing parts. You will also learn how to do a more complex set of drawings. As you can see here, this is what we are going to end up with. It's actually going to have two pages. So page 1 is a complete pencil box. Then page 2 is a part breakdown. Right, so let's get on with it. So first thing I'm going to do, go back to my Onshape thing. I'm in a different folder. So as you can see, I'm in my Onshape tutorials pencil box folder now. I'm going to go ahead and create a new document. I'm going to title this pencil box. Hit OK. Give it some time. And we're here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by making this left side, right? So just that one. We're only going to make one. At the end, we're going to mirror it. So if you could just imagine that this pencil box is centered around the origin here. The origin is right in the middle. So we got our top plane that we're looking down on, our front plane, and our right plane, right? So the first thing we have to do is create a new plane offset from the right plane. We spoke about offset sketches, so now we're going to talk about offsetting a plane, right? Halfway of 132, right, which is 66 millimeters. So we're going to offset one plane off the right plane by 66 mil and create this part, which is this, on there. Okay, let's get on with that now. So for this, I'm not going to need the front plane. I'm going to hide that. I'm not going to need the top plane. I'm going to hide that. I'm only going to need the right plane, right? And we're going to keep the origin because remember we like to anchor our initial sketches around the origin. So here's what we do. We're going to go up here up to our features buttons, and right here next to that helix, you're going to see a button called plane. So click the plane. And we're going to base this new plane, plane 1, off our right plane. Okay, so first thing you have to do is select a plane to offset it off. Now, you can offset planes off faces or planes. Okay, but we don't have any faces to do that yet, so we're going to offset it off this right plane. I'm going to click the right plane, and you can see that it is going towards the inside, towards the origin. Right, we want it to go to the left side of the right plane, so we're going to click this button, opposite direction, and we have to type in 66, which is half of 132. All right, 66, enter. There we go. And just to get used to good practices, I'm going to change the plane name as well. I'm going to change this to left plane, left offset. Right, there we go, done. Now we don't need the right plane anymore, or for now, so we're going to hide that. So we're going to keep the origin. And we're going to start drawing this side. And we're going to look at this now, because that gives us what we need to know. So back to Onshape. We're going to open a sketch as usual. I'm going to do this a bit fast now because you've had practice. Select in the sketch plane. Select the new sketch plane, which is our left offset. You can see that. Right click. Whoops. Right click. Your normal to sketch plane. Here we go. Going to start off with the center point rectangle. Base it off our center. And just as before, just draw a random one. Hit escape. And we have to dimension it to 240 by 42. Right. So dimension button. Start using shortcuts now. So dimension is D. There we go. Down was 240. Enter. We're still in dimension. Do this up, and that's 42. Enter, right? Just double check, 42, 240, accept it, right? First step done. Next thing, we got to extrude it at 12 mil. Now remember, we place that plane to the left side of the right plane. So we have to extrude it towards the origin, right? Not out. If we do that, our box is going to end up being 12 millimeters times 2, because it's going to happen on both sides. It's going to be 24 millimeters wider than we initially intended it to be. So we're going to extrude this towards the origin. Start off by doing that. Right. So back to this. Extrude. Click. Instead of clicking it over here, I'm going to click it from here, just because something different. And you can see automatically it goes towards the origin anyway. And change our depth to 12. Enter. Looks about right. Looks perfect, actually. And accept it. Cool. That's done. Now, still keep the origin showing, but we can hide the left offset. Right? You can actually right-click on that and go to hide left offset plane and do it that way. And as you can see, it's the same function. Right? Done. One step. The next thing we have to do is cut out these grooves. Right? As you can see, we are going to do these side rebates at the very end. We are going to cut out these long grooves first. So we're going to base it off this side. And you can see it's 6 mil down from the edge, 3 mil wide, because that's the width of the saw blade that we use, and that's the actual thickness of the plywood piece that goes in here for our lid. All right. And the bottom one is 6 mil deep and 3 mil wide, but it's not offset from the bottom. It's just, it's essentially a long rebate. Let's go do that. And here we go. Right, back to sketch. Make sure you're doing it the right way. The origin is on the right side of the piece. Sketch plane, we're going to select this. Make sure it's the correct one. Right click, view normal to sketch plane. Okay. For the top one, we are going to use the normal corner rectangle. Just draw a random rectangle, but make sure that you don't accidentally lock into the midpoint of that top line, right? Yes, ultimately it is going to be 6 mil, and that's half of 12, but I just want you to do it a bit. Just get used to adding correct dimensions as well. Okay, that's done. Escape. The bottom one, we're going to use the line tool, or L, right? Clicked it. Same deal, just a random size. And you'd notice that once you click and let go, the tool is still active, just like the rectangle we learned in the last videos. And click over there, hit escape. Now let's dimension them, right? So back D, top edge to here. We said that was 6 mil. Enter depth, 6 mil. Forgot to hit enter then. Right, so if that happens, just while you're still in the dimension tool, double click that and you can edit it. Enter. All right. Width 3, and that is fully defined. It's completely all black now, nothing's blue. Same thing over here. Our depth is 6 mil, and the width of that is 3. Enter. Right. Yes, we could have done this in 2 sketches, but this is a lot faster. Right. We're happy with that. 6, 3, 6, 6, and 3. Double check it with our drawing. 6, 6, 3. Okay. And accept the sketch. Now we're going to extrude these 2 sketches. Right, same deal. Extrude, remove. Here's where it gets a bit tricky when you pick things, right? You could accidentally, if you pick the outside, it's going to remove that and leave the sketches there. Right, what we want is to pick these parts. If you accidentally pick the wrong thing, you can go back to this window over here. As you can see, I'm just going to move it there and just get rid of them. Pick that and pick that. And we want it to go through all. Hit and done. Right. Next thing are these 2 rebates. We're going to sketch that on this face. So this face over here, that line. We're going to do one and mirror it along the center, and that way you only do one sketch. I'll show you how to do that. Back to sketch, select the sketch plane, make sure it's the correct one, right click, view normal to sketch plane. I'm going to move that out of the way. Okay, first thing we want to do is draw a construction line along the origin. Okay, so just draw a normal line first, doesn't matter which direction it goes as long as it is vertical. You'll see that little vertical line next to my cursor. So it's vertical, it'll snap there, there we go. Right, hit escape, click that construction line because we don't want it to register in our extrusions. Click the construction line now and then click anywhere on the thing to get rid of it. There we go, one. The two rebates on either side are 12 mil wide and 6 mil deep, as you can see here. Right, so every cut is 6 millimeters deep in this drawing, in this pencil box rather. Let's get back. Corner rectangle, anchor it to the corner, and you'll notice that it doesn't anchor on this to this bottom line here. That's because it is not on the plane that we're sketching on. So don't leave it here, even though it will work because it's already down to 6 mil. But let's do this properly. Make it a bit bigger. Zoom out. D for dimension. 12. Enter. That entire line is 42 because that's the height of our part. Right. And escape to get out of dimension. Now, as you can see, just get in screen. There we go. Remember, just hit F if it's not doing what you wanted to do. All right, as you can see, we've got one here. We can easily just click another corner rectangle and draw it over here. But I'm going to show you how to use the sketch mirror function. So this tool over here, next to the offset function, mirror, click that. It says the first thing you do is select a mirror line. We've drawn that line. It is smack bang in the middle. Click it. And then select entities to be mirrored. So now everything you click or select will be mirrored along this. Right, so I want this line. You can see, there it is. Okay, top and bottom. There we go. And that one. Right. Perfectly mirrored. Hit escape to get out of that function, because if you're still in here and you start clicking elsewhere, it's just going to keep mirroring those. We don't have anything to do so, but, you know, just do it. And escape. Happy with that. Done. And we have to extrude cut these now. So remove. It's going to be tricky to pick all of these, but because we drew close sketches, we can just select sketch 3 and it will remove it for us. So we wanted to go that direction, but we want to only go down 6 mil. Right, there we go. And click. Done. Okay, that's our left side done. Because we're going to have a lot of parts and we want to know which parts are which, it's good practice this time to name the actual part. So if I click this, you'll notice that that part is all highlighted. So, and I can hide or show the part. So it says part 1 now. I'm going to name this left side. So right click, rename, just type in left side and enter. Okay, we'll do the rest in the next video, because the next few functions are quite straightforward and easy. They're just straight extrusions. There are no, there's not a lot of cutting and stuff to do. Right, excellent guys. See you in the next video. Stay safe.